All right, so we have Angel today. She came for an in-person reading, and so we're just kind of get started and let you guys listen along and be the fly on the wall. Have you ever had a mediumship reading before?
Kind of like in the moment surprise mediumship meeting when I met with you for a Reiki session. And that was about 4 years ago.
That was a long time ago.
Yes.
So much has happened since then.
A lot, yeah. A lot.
I realized that this morning. I was like, holy cow, she's going through a bit. So when I do a reading, it's completely different than Reiki, okay? When I'm doing a Reiki, I'm focusing on your chakras and the traumas that you've stuffed and suppressed within those chakras, and I'm working on removing that energy so you can heal that. Mediumship is where I'm literally just connecting with your loved ones and with energy and basically giving you messages. So two completely different modalities. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Perfect. And then when I do a mediumship reading, the way that I see spirit, and you kind of experienced it by getting Reiki. Like when you get Reiki with me, you kind of get like a mini mediumship reading, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I can connect with spirits. Sometimes I can see them. Sometimes I can feel them. Sometimes I can just sense them. I download their knowledge and their messages without seeing them. At times I can taste their vices or smell their vices from when they were here on Earth. So they give me the ability to experience them a little bit. And that helps to give me evidence that I'm picking up on the right spirit, the right energy. Okay. Another thing is that I do my best to interpret the information correctly. I do my best to deliver the information I'm getting without interpreting it, because you have different life experiences than I have. And so I might see something that looks very similar to an experience of mine, but it was completely different than for you.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'll try to interpret it based on my experience, but it doesn't make sense to you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I try not to interpret. I try to just give you that information.
Okay.
At times, my ego will rear its ugly head. And so if you've gone through some kind of a trauma and I've experienced a similar trauma, it will trigger me. And then my ego will step in to protect me. And I try really hard not to allow that to happen. But if it does happen, I do apologize. And we'll figure it out.
Okay.
Okay. And then I always ask for evidence. Okay. I don't want you to feel like I'm just throwing something out there generically and seeing what sticks. I don't want you to fill in the blanks. It obviously, if I'm getting information and you want to validate the information I'm telling you is accurate, that's fine. But don't try to feed me information. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Great. And then last but not least, if you have someone that has passed away that you want to bring in that did not voluntarily come in, we can put a call out to the universe, ask them if we can talk to them and see if they'll come through.
Okay.
Any questions?
Sounds good. No.
Perfect. Awesome. So prior to meeting with anybody for a reading, I always meditate on their energy. One, that allows me to set my ego to sleep, and it allows me to kind of know what's coming, what to prepare for, right? You have a lot of love on the other side. You've had a lot of loss over the last few years, and some very fresh loss. And so immediately as I started meditating, a grandmother figure came in, and she feels like a grandmother, very maternal, very loving, very compassionate. So it feels as though she played a grandmother role in your life. And it felt very like the connection came from your father's side. So I don't know, like, it just feels like a grandmother figure, but it doesn't feel like your father's mother. So I don't know if that makes sense to you. Is your dad's mom still here on Earth?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Because she's like, no, I'm not his mom. She's here. So just want to let you know she is clarifying that.
Okay.
But it does feel like a grandmother connection.
So I'm thinking it's probably my dad's aunt.
Okay, I was just gonna.
It was my grandma's sister.
Okay, thank you. Perfect, thank you. Was she older than your grandmother?
No.
Okay, interesting. Okay. Did she? Okay, let me grab her really quick. Did she pass in the last 6 to 8 months?
No.
Okay, that's not who I thought coming in. This female figure feels as though she passed in the last 6 to 8 months. She feels as though she battled with some diabetes or some kind of a chronic illness while she was here on this earth. She feels like a matriarch over family, like she was the connector. Like everyone would come to her house. to kind of just hang out, to vent, to reconnect. So,
So my dad's dad, so my grandpa's aunt passed away last year. So she was like my great aunt. And she, yeah, every like New Year's and like that, she had a huge house in San Francisco, and everybody would come gather there. So I remember going there when I was younger. And she had, I don't know the extent of her illness.
That's okay.
Okay.
Did she walk with a cane?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. She's showing me a cane. So
okay.
I appreciate it. And so I just got my chills. So when I get chills, that's like my confirmation. So I don't know if you can see, but my entire body is covered in goosebumps.
Okay.
And so thank you. Thank you for identifying her. She's like, okay, good.
Yes. Okay. I know exactly. I was like,
okay, perfect. She's like, so that was your great grandmother or something.
Like aunt.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it. And on your father's side. Thank you for making that connection for me. Did she live like in the Sunset District area, like
right across from the beach?
Thank you so much, because she's showing me like the hills and she's showing me the water.
Oh, just like so, we would cross the street and we were there.
Okay,
yeah.
Thank you so much.
That's so cool. Yeah.
Okay, so it feels as though she did struggle with like diabetes, and you can confirm that with your
okay.
later. You don't need to know it right now. It doesn't feel like the diabetes is what killed her though, but it does feel like she struggled with that chronic illness. It feels almost like a stroke or heart attack, something like that took her out.
Okay.
Or was like the final nail in the coffin. Does that make sense? Okay, perfect.
Yeah, but she lived like
right there.
Super.
Like she's showing me the hills, and like you can't park anywhere, and everything's like connected to each other. And then she shows me the ocean. So yeah, right there. She loved this life, and she loved your family. She like the huge family, not like your immediate, but like she loved her family. And it didn't stop with just her children. Like it extended to even community members became her family. Like she was the hub, and like almost like the matriarch of the community is what she's saying. Like she's showing me in all these like networking events, community events, and she was
church.
Like, everyone would come up and find her, and she would organize things, and she would connect people with services, and almost like she's saying like the Mother Teresa. Like,
yeah.
Very kind.
I could absolutely, yeah.
Yes. So she's just coming forward with that, and just wants to say hi to your dad. So I don't know if she had like a special connection to him or something, but she wants to acknowledge him, and she wants to acknowledge the loss that he's gone through in his life. So she's bringing up that he has gone through a lot of loss, and he's so strong for everybody, but he doesn't acknowledge that loss. Okay, and so people are like, how does he get through it? How does he manage so much? And it's just because he stuffs and stuffs and stuffs. And then he puts a smile on his face to cover it. It's like the smile is the Band-Aid.
Spot on. Yes.
And so she just wants to bring the attention to you and your brother that dad needs support. Even if he says he's okay, he's not okay, and dad needs support. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It feels like dad's in a relationship right now.
Not that I know of. But
it feels
could
like
be.
Okay. Right now, something's coming.
Okay.
And it feels like it's necessary. He needs someone to help shoulder his pain, and he's not going to hand that down to his children. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so it looks like God is going to kind of bring a support arm in.
Okay.
It does feel like his heart currently is still set on somebody else.
My mom.
Yes. And that door is not open for the intimacy. Does that make sense? And so it's really hard for him to move on, but this woman feels almost like more of a companion, not necessarily a lover. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Because that's the only thing your father's opened up to. Like he would be open up to a friend, but not.
Yes.
Like no one can fill that hole of your mother.
Oh, it's crazy. Me and my mom were just talking about this the other day. That's super crazy.
Well,
yeah. Woo!
Okay, so your aunt stepping to the side, or your great aunt stepping to the side. She's bringing forward another woman with her, and this feels as though it may have been like a niece or of hers. So let me figure out this connection. Your your dad's mom, she has a sister on the other side. Okay, thank you. It's this woman's coming forward, so it's not your dad.
Two different sides, though.
Okay.
Yeah. So the first was through my dad's dad. This is through my dad's mom.
Yes. Yeah, this one's this aunt that's coming forward is on your dad's mom.
Yeah.
Not your dad's dad.
Correct.
Correct. Yes. That's who she's bringing forward. So, this aunt feels like she's been passed around 5 years-ish. Like it's long.
Yeah.
It's very short.
Yes.
And it feels like she had 3 children on this earth side.
No children.
No children. That's very interesting. Did she have miscarriages that you're aware of?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Because she's got 3 children floating around her.
Okay.
So it feels as though if she didn't biologically deliver, almost like she took some under her wing while she was here on Earth.
She was very close to my dad and his brothers. And there was 3 of them. 3 boys.
She's showing me 3. And she's coming forward as mother. So did she have her hand in raising them?
She was like their favorite aunt.
Okay,
like always around.
All the time.
Yeah.
And like they would stay with her.
Oh yeah.
Like
all the
yes.
With her.
Okay, thank you. She's acknowledging them.
They were. She was basically like their second mom.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she's claiming them as hers, just to let you know. And she's acknowledging you and 2 brothers with you. So there's 3 of you guys total from your dad, and 1 is with her.
Correct.
So she's acknowledging you 3, and she's saying that you guys have a special place in her heart. Okay. She loves you guys very much, and she is so incredibly proud of you guys. And she's really grateful that one of you welcomed her while she went to heaven. So she's acknowledging that your brother was there when she came into heaven, and he welcomed her through the doors. Okay. And she said it was really hard to transition, but it was really easy because he was here for me. And he showed me the ropes. Does that make sense to you? Okay. And they have so much fun together.
I bet.
They are up there like partying and dancing.
I bet.
Enjoying the cocktails. Like they're like, life is good over there. Okay. And so your aunt says, I understand that you miss us both because we're very important to you, but draw comfort in knowing we're together and we are living life on this side. Like if we're not done, we're not gone.
I can only imagine.
Yeah. They're having a great time.
Their spirits were so vibrant on Earth. So it's like there's no way that I would not believe that.
Yeah, they're really enjoying it. And there's a lot of family up there. So it's not just them. Like it's almost like they just have like I want to say almost like cookouts or block parties like constantly. So they're really enjoying this. They're really enjoying having this time together.
Wow.
And then just reconnecting. And it's almost like they like sit here and they watch because you have a large family. So they sit here and they're watching like that one's gonna come next or that one's gonna come next and they prepare for them. Okay. And so yeah, it feels really good.
Okay.
Brother comes in. He is wearing like braids. Like he's very proud of his braids. And like almost like he was known, like he would get compliments on braids and like he was like, oh, I look so fly, like just like.
Well, I braided his hair.
There you go. That's okay. Okay, he loves his braids. Like he is so stinking proud of them. Was he older than you?
No, but right behind me. We were 14 months apart, so super close in age.
People
thought he was older than me because he was so much bigger than me.
Not only that, but he felt like he needed to protect you.
Oh yeah.
So he
yes.
Because he was like, I had her back. Like no one was gonna touch her.
At all.
Yes. And he lived for the adrenaline, and so and that's what took him. The adrenaline and the need for adrenaline is what took him. And he says, my parents always told me to be careful. Angel always told me to slow down. She said that I didn't have to live life so fast. Like slow down, enjoy the ride. And I didn't listen. And because I didn't listen, that ended up taking my life. Yeah. It was a motorcycle. And he wrapped himself around something because he's showing me like spinning and then wrapping. So like I could hear metal crushing. And did his helmet crack? Because it feels like the head support didn't work the way it was supposed to. Does that make sense to you?
I don't know the extent of what the helmet looked like. I believe it was still on when the paramedics arrived, but I don't know the extent of it.
Okay. He's showing me that it cracked. and that when it cracked, all of the I want to say turbulence, but it wasn't. Basically, all of the impact went to the school, and that's kind of it was the almost like I'm hearing like blunt force trauma, but it wasn't that. It was just like the impact. Does that make sense to you? Severe headache on me right now. Like I'm feeling a lot of pressure in my brain and a lot of swelling. Was he put on life support for a couple of days? Did he die instantly?
Instant, yeah.
Oh my God. It feels like life support to me. And so what that can tell me is I wasn't ready to go. And I was trying to hang around the family before I went to the other side. Okay. He says, sis, you have done so amazing with your life. I am so proud of you. So he shows me you walking across the stage and like throwing a graduation cap into the air. Have you recently graduated or
I'm almost.
Okay, got it,
I have like less than a year, yeah.
He's celebrating that. He's like, you've got this. Don't give up. It's been hard and you've been like questioning, like, do I have enough left in me? And he's saying, you're going to make it. Don't give up. Dig deep. He said, if anyone can do it, it's you. Does that make sense to you? Are you one of the first females in your family to graduate college or go as far as you've gone? Because he's saying, that's my sister. Like, my sister doesn't give up. My sister breaks limits. There's no boundaries you can set on this woman that she can't overcome. And she is such an inspiration to so many girls. And he's very proud of you being a Black woman to go through college. So he says, not only is she a female, and not only is she one of the few females, it feels like the first female in your family
to get a master's, yeah.
Wow. But he says, she's also a Black and we gotta take pride in that, okay?
Amen.
Yes. And it's interesting because he says she doesn't claim her race very much. Like you don't use that race card. Like
I don't, yeah.
Me. And he's like, and I understand that, but I need to give you kudos because I'm proud that you are a Black woman that is graduated. Okay.
Sounds spot on something he's saying.
He says you need to give yourself. He goes, you don't look at your race as a challenge or something that sets you back. You've never allowed skin color to define you. But in this world, it does.
Yeah.
And so he said, kudos to you for not using that card, but sis, it's there for you, so you need to use it.
Okay. Oh gosh, yeah.
And he's also very respectful of the fact that you don't do that because he says so many people right now are taking advantage of the race card. So many people are using it when it shouldn't be used. So many people are using it as an excuse when really they're being irresponsible with their actions or they are acting in ways they know they shouldn't be acting and they pull that race card out. And he says that's one of the reasons you don't.
There's been times where I've like overanalyzed situations and it's gone down to like, I just don't know why. And then I'm like, I forget that I'm a woman of color. And it's not the first thing that I go to. But there's been situations that have happened over the past couple of years where I just don't understand it. And then it's like, oh. So I've been having to really like take that into consideration because I have never ever lived my life like that. And so it's like, no, where I'm going in life, it is relevant. And so it's very interesting that he's bringing that up because I don't. And I think in some situations I downplay it. And it's like, well, no, there's no other factor that would cause this besides. Yeah. So I know exactly what he's saying with that. Exactly.
Yeah. Because he's like, it's very important for you to hear this.
And knowing that it's okay to acknowledge it because there's times where I'm just like, I don't get it. And
right. And he says you've been overlooked for a couple of promotions where you were the top candidate. And he says, I applaud you for not going there because it just makes you stronger and it makes you better. But I'm gonna go there for you.
Yeah, I could see it. Totally see that.
Okay, what is? Give me a second. Were you recently in an auto accident?
No.
Okay, he's bringing up an auto accident. And so he's saying, I need you to be careful right now. And he's showing me you in a rental car. And then getting a new car. So it looks like a car might be totaled, and then it'll be in a rental car for a short time, and then a new car. So he's just asking me to make you aware of your surroundings.
Okay.
And he's showing like someone running a stop sign or a red light and hitting you. So he says, please drive defensively, but he shows me you in a rental car.
Wow.
Okay. And so it doesn't look like anything physically will be wrong, but he wants you to be cautious.
Okay.
Okay. He says people don't drive the speed limit. Do you have issues with like racing places? Like not like just going over the speed limit. Not like him. He's like, she's not an adrenaline junkie like me. But it's almost like, oh, I'm late, and you kind of press on the gas a little bit heavier than you should.
Yeah.
Okay. So
there's been a couple instances over the past, I'd say, a couple weeks where I have been distracted and could have gotten in accidents, and to the point where I'm like, I need to just stop. I need to be.
Slow down. He's saying you need to take your own advice right now. Does that make sense?
Literally told one of my students last week to slow down.
Yeah. So he's saying take your own advice.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. So I do see it happening. Just be cautious.
Okay.
Okay. It doesn't look like it will be your fault, but if you're aware, it can be prevented.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Perfect. He's bringing up little brother. So you guys have a younger brother. Okay. Got it. And he's just graduated and going into college, or what's going on with this? It feels like he's like in a transition phase.
He just became a dad.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Big transition.
Yeah. Okay. And then did he shift careers or give you a job or something? Like there's a lot going on in his life.
There's a lot going on. Yeah.
Okay. And is he not married?
No.
Okay, got it. But they're together. They're not. Okay.
They're co-parenting.
Okay. I see. You're currently single. This is interesting. So what he's showing me is dad walking with someone down the aisle. So at first I thought it was you when I was meditating, and I heard it's not you. I'm like, no, she's single. So something's going to be going on, and it feels like dad could be walking someone down the aisle.
Okay.
So I was trying to look about.
Can I probe you on that one?
Yes.
Because 4 years ago when we met for the Reiki session, I remember this, he told you that he had my soulmate picked out, but that I wasn't ready for him.
Got it.
And that stood out to me because I was like, okay. And at the time I wasn't ready. And
You're
so,
almost.
and that's how I feel.
Yeah. You have to finish your schooling. You don't have any time right now. You're very dedicated to your work and your schooling, and so you don't have time for a relationship.
That's how I feel.
Yeah,
but I feel ready.
Yeah, you're all ready. But you don't have the time. You're emotionally ready. I can see you've done a lot of work on yourself and took a lot of responsibility for things that you blamed others for, that you needed to do that. So kudos on that healing you made a lot of progress, a lot of self reflection. However, right now, at this very moment, you don't have the time. And so what he's showing me is, and you're going to be graduating like next May.
April.
Okay. Got it. Like more towards the end, like 26th, 27th.
23rd, I think.
Thank you. Yeah. It's like showing me like
yeah.
it's like
yeah, it's like end of April.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. So what he's showing me is you will graduate. Feels like, and you're going to campus like you were doing virtually, but you're starting to go to campus?
So we're supposed to be in fall.
You're going to meet someone in that program or on that campus. And
oh my God.
You guys are going to find a connection. You guys are going to create a connection. And then when you graduate, you will then allow it to go further. Okay.
It's just crazy because my mom literally told me last week that she felt like I was going to meet somebody in my field.
Yes, you are. You are. And it feels like you already may have like a contact with it, not connection necessarily, but like maybe in some of your courses, like that you virtually, like you know of each other, but you don't know each other. So,
okay.
Almost feels like he could be like a teacher's assistant, or he could be like someone in like a lead position of a program.
Oh.
So,
Okay.
but like I see, he's very academic. Okay. Um, you're academic too, but like your passion is not necessarily for the shuffling of the paperwork. So you are moving more towards empowering young women and like preteen age, not teenagers and not little kids. Like you love this like 11 to 14 really. You love, because that is like your sweet spot, and that's where you find them like in the dirt, just kicked and battered, and you lift them up and you let them see their potential. And it's almost like you're creating a program around that or something.
Not yet, but
you plan to.
I definitely feel like that is, yeah, I'm all about the younger girls and just that age of knowing, like, puberty and all that stuff, and kind of seeing the disconnects that we have with
a lot of disconnects. And it almost looks like when you graduate, like you're going to be shifting to more of an administrative part. I don't want to say like, so what I see is like you over an umbrella of multiple schools, and you're creating this girl empowerment program, and you will be picking out those girls that are falling between the cracks from all different schools. And you, like, the entire program will be like, teachers will be sending you children that they know, like, okay, this one needs extra help and this one needs extra help.
Wow.
And not necessarily extra help academically, they do obviously, but it's more so like emotional, mental,
100%.
And that's what they're needing, and that's what you're going to create. And you almost have to be the like bull of the china shop to get that position, right? Or to create it, because administration is stuck in their ways, and they're like, well, we don't have the funds. Oh, well, yeah, you do, because you're already paying me. Just let me expand. And like, you're not asking for any more compensation. You just want to be there to help the children.
Spot on.
So you want to be like,
yes.
Like, hit it hard.
I don't care about getting paid. I feel like my purpose is to be like more of a mentor to these kids.
Absolutely.
That's, I literally, oh my gosh.
And so you're going to have to carve that out. And it might be even like an after school program that you're basically going to be volunteering.
Like in addition to my,
Yeah. But I do see you doing that. And I think if you start it as an after school academic volunteer, then they'll actually create the program into the district.
Okay.
So.
Wow.
That feels really good.
It does.
What's going on? It looks like you're going to be selling the house or remodeling the house, upgrading it somehow.
Just upgraded the house.
Okay.
Well, the outside. Just did a bunch of landscaping.
Okay. It feels like you're going to be adding on or something. It feels like mom's moving in with you, or there's going to be a transition of a family member moving in with you?
Not that I'm aware of. Mom just moved out.
Oh, did she?
Mom moved out in December, and then I started doing the renovations around like the backyard, the front yard.
So energy's there.
Yeah, she's there a lot.
Yeah, you're her comfort.
Yes.
And like,
yes.
And it's getting to the point where
she'll be there today.
Breathe. Like, I need to breathe, Mom. I'm an adult. I need to like spread my wings. I can't have this umbilical cord connected. And she's like, hold on, I need it. So, her energy's still there.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel like she necessarily was ready. She wasn't emotionally there to move out. She wants back in. So just letting you know, like her energy wants back in. But you guys didn't have enough space.
We did not have enough space, literally.
And so it almost feels like you might even build like a granny unit in the back or something. Because she really needs you. And you are just so giving and caring. You're almost like, okay, fine, just move back in. But you need more space. So it feels like you're going to either be selling this house and buying a bigger house, or remodeling your current home. You really like your current home.
I do.
You love your home.
I do.
But you built it up to a point where you can make a really nice profit.
Yes.
And get into a safer neighborhood. Like, you need to move out of the city you're in. The city you're in is not good for you. And you need to move to the surrounding cities. Does that make sense to you?
It does.
And you can get a lot for your money compared to you built up a beautiful nest egg in this home. And so it looks like you could even almost refinance, pull money out to put a down payment on a home outside, and then rent that out. And that
I've always said I don't want to sell that house. I would want to hold on to it.
Really love that.
I do. The neighbors are amazing. It's like our community is very strong.
It is. It is, but you've outgrown it. And you feel it.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, I've outgrown this.
Mm-hmm.
You can rent it out though, and that can pay basically for the entire mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
Once you pull your equity out, it'll cover that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So your entire mortgage.
I've definitely contemplated doing something like that in the near future.
Yes, I feel really good with you doing that, because it just right now, you eventually want to get married, you want to have kids, and you can't raise kids in the city you're currently living in. So you need to move outside of that city, and if you move now, it's still affordable, but if you wait, it won't be.
Okay.
Okay, so like that, it feels like that needs to happen before the end of the year. Like really sit down and contemplate, look at finances.
Really? Yeah. Okay.
And mom might even help you to be able to afford another house. So you might need to like, have that income to qualify.
Okay.
But it won't be like her house. She'll just be helping you qualify.
Okay. Yeah, no, it does.
And she's totally willing to do that if like she can still
live
in your space. She's like, I got you. Let's do this.
I could totally see that.
Yeah. So you got a vacation plan coming up?
Not planned, but I recently got my passport. I lost it years ago, never went to get it. I made an effort to get it for this year because I said I'm taking myself somewhere really nice.
Yes.
And I've not booked anything yet, but it has been at the forefront of my mind. Like,
it feels like end of July, beginning of August. Like it feels like it's going to be a really nice one. I see you on the airplane going over the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not going to be like anywhere close. It does feel like a girl's trip to Vegas, though, is also in the works.
It should be. Yeah.
It feels like you guys are going to like hop over for like a weekend or something, go to Vegas.
Okay.
Blow some steam.
Yeah.
And it feels like 4 girls or one. Like you have like a group of like really close 4 women.
Well, you know what's interesting? My grad school group of women, there's 4 of us, and we've talked about doing a girls' trip because they've all been going to all these other places and countries, and I haven't. And so we're actually going to meet up, and I was actually going to throw that out there, like we should go, on a girls' trip. So
yeah, I see it happening.
Okay.
And then puppies are coming up. So I don't know if your dogs are fixed.
One of my dogs, so my female's fixed, but my brother actually is, I think, in the process of breeding his dog.
Okay, because I see puppies. Like a litter of puppies. Okay. Are they German Shepherds? Okay. Is it Pip? Okay.
Yeah. He's a like a pocket bully. Yeah.
And it almost looks like he's gonna think he found a home for one, but one's gonna come back, and then it's gonna end up at your house.
Oh no!
So it just like put that out there. It looks like one's gonna end up at your house. So and it almost looks like a foster situation because you're like, this isn't gonna work with mine.
Yeah.
But you're so loving, and like, okay, fine, I'll take it. Well, it's cute, but you need to find it.
Well, what's interesting is I just had a foster puppy. I just had a Belgian Malinois.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, my dad rescued him. He didn't have a place to stay, and so he ended up at my house. And then we got him adopted out.
These puppies are still being baked, so it's not done yet. They're still
okay. I always joke that I should be a foster mom.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot of work. So
you already have
a lot. Yes.
Yes. I do. I am just like, oh my gosh, this is cool. This is so cool.
Brother's bringing up the man coming into your life, so he's just wanting to reassure you that it's almost here.
Okay.
And it's funny because he's like got him by the collar of his shirt. And he's like, she's ready. So he's like dragging him along.
Okay.
I really like this guy. His energy is really beautiful, very uplifting, very inspiring. He's a complete jokester. Doesn't take life seriously, but is serious when necessary.
Which is what I need.
Yeah.
Because I take life very serious.
Yeah, you do. You need
like
to like break up the monotony. Just like you're very
my mind.
Beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
But he's gonna get on your last nerve because he jokes so much. Okay. And so you're gonna be like, you don't take this seriously enough. And so just realize like it's what you need. That's like your brother's energy coming in through this man.
Yes.
So he just wants to let you know, like, and he shows me him like him by the collar on a campus. So he's like on a campus.
Okay.
And again, just chills all over my
Wow.
body, just showed up. So he's just wanting to reassure you because you're wondering, like, hey, is he really there? And he's like, yes, he's here. It's like, I got you.
I've definitely second guessed it.
Yeah. So it's coming. And are you like 34 right now?
35. Just turned 35.
Okay. 36 is what I'm seeing for this relationship.
Okay.
Okay. Which actually makes sense because if you graduate beginning of May, it'll be right about 36. Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, because I'll be 36 in April.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because he's telling me 36 is when it's going to happen.
Okay.
Okay. He said, keep your eyes open.
Okay.
Because you put your little blinders on.
I do.
And you don't see stuff.
I do.
And he'll come up and he'll throw himself at you, and you're like, he's a nice guy. But
people tease me all the time. They're like, you missed all those like subtle like signs.
Yeah, people throw things.
Yeah.
Flirt with you like crazy, and then your girlfriends will be like, Angel, oh my gosh, you're starting. Okay,
and I'm like, yeah, yes, that's me. That is me.
So
Spot on.
Like, sis, open up your eyes. Like, take those blinders off. Like, you can start looking. It's okay to start looking.
Okay.
But it does feel like it's going to happen on campus.
Okay.
All right. Any questions for me? Anything that I didn't answer? Anyone that you wanted to connect with that you didn't? If there's a female you wanted to connect with.
No. I am more so just not concerned, but I guess I'm just curious about, there's a lot of stuff going on with my grandpa and his health right now. And he's been making comments like seeing my brother and a lot of people that have passed on. And so
is this your father's father? Yeah, he's going to be transitioning soon.
Yeah. It feels like it.
Yeah, his feet are on both sides. Does he have fluid around the heart?
He has a pacemaker.
Got it. Okay. It feels like fluid's building up around the heart, and it feels like I can't breathe, like I'm drowning in fluid.
Okay.
So, but he's ready to go.
He is.
Like, he's lived a really good life.
He says that all the time. I've lived a great life,
and then it looks like his soulmate is on the other side. So was he married?
So he was married to my grandma, and then they separated. But she's still here.
There's another woman.
Interesting.
That he has had a special place in his heart.
Okay.
And it feels like since like childhood.
Wow.
And it feels like she's on the other side waiting for him.
Wow. Okay.
So,
yeah, we definitely get the feeling that he's ready.
Yeah, he's definitely ready. He's had a good life. He has no regrets. And he's just tired.
Yeah.
He's tired of being sick. So I do see him transitioning.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I do. And it's not going to be like a really traumatic. It's just going to be like peaceful. It feels like one day you might not wake up. Like, it doesn't feel traumatic. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And he's still, is he like in an assisted living or? No, they're looking for it though. Okay. Yeah. It feels like he goes while he's in assisted living. Okay. So. Yeah, they're in the process of trying to find one. Yeah. And they'll find one in July. Okay. They'll find one in July to get him into. Because there's no openings right now. They have one. It feels like they have one identified. They really like. Yeah, there's a wait. It's like a month. She said about a month. Yeah, and it looks like July. Okay. And then. Wow. I don't feel like he's going to pass in July. I feel like he's going to get into the assisted living in July. And okay. I think he will pass in that program. Gotcha. Okay. So when I say in July, I'm not saying he's done. Right. Right. No. I get it. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. But it doesn't feel. It's not years. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. That's kind of how I feel too. And he's voiced it. Yes. Yeah. I think he's very ready. Yeah. And he's got your brothers there, your aunts there. Like, there's family. Remember how I told you they're picking. Yes. They're preparing for him. Like, they're saying he's next. Yeah. So I can definitely see that. And they're ready. They got a spot. Okay. So they'll be at the doors welcoming him in. And then I guess because you covered so much, my last thing would be if my brother had anything to say about my youngest brother and his transitioning into fatherhood and just all that with his. He says he wasn't ready.
Yeah.
It wasn't planned,
Mm-hmm.
wasn't expected. It feels like he's going to be a good co-parent,
Mm-hmm.
but it does feel like the mother of his child, it's not meant to be.
It's not, yeah.
It's not meant to be. They're learning to be friends.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't even feel like it was very clean. It was very messy, but they're learning to be friends, and it looks like they're going to be excellent co-parents. Like
Okay.
they're starting to learn what respect is. They didn't respect each other, but they're starting to learn. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
But your brother will find someone for him. Like there is a woman in the wings
Mm-hmm.
for him, and he will end up marrying her, and they will have 3 kids.
Wow.
So,
okay.
And your brother, he's like 28, 29?
31.
Okay, he feels very young.
Yeah, he's
very
yes,
immature.
it's very immature.
Yeah, very. I say most men like mature at like 30,
Yeah.
but he feels like he's like 28.
Yes.
He's a little behind the ball, but it does feel as though like he's gonna be like 33, 34 before he really mans up.
Okay.
And then he'll be able to find someone really sweet girl. She's very sweet, but she puts him in his place because your brother needs someone to kind of control him a little bit.
Yes.
And it's
I've always said that he needs someone that he will. Yeah.
She almost feels Filipino.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, and outspoken, not like your typical.
Yeah.
Quiet, like shy Filipino.
Like a firecracker.
Like she's a firecracker. Like I know what I'm worth. I know what I want, and you're gonna give it to me, or you're gonna lose me. And
that's what he needs. Yeah.
And that's what she feels.
Okay.
But very beautiful.
Wow.
Very small. But she has to.
Okay. I can totally see that. That's exactly what he needs.
Yeah.
Wow.
It'll be good. And this mother of his child, like they're going to grow a really strong friendship. They're going to learn to respect. Right now, they have there's a lot of hormones still, and there's a lot of emotions.
Yes, a lot
messy.
of emotions.
Yeah, but they're going to learn to respect each other. Their biggest challenge is going to be neither one of them want the baby to be introduced to significant others.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're like, don't you be bringing no man around my baby. Don't you be bringing no
right
baby.
So
but they have to realize they're not together.
They're not.
Have to go on.
Yes.
And so they're going to have to be respectful, and they have to respect each other and realize, unless I'm in a serious relationship, I don't need to bring this person around my baby.
Exactly.
I'm not going to be parading my baby around
right
different people. Like, we need stability here. And so we need to communicate and say, hey, I'm kind of getting serious with this person.
Mm-hmm.
Is it okay if I introduce them? Like, they have to get to that level of respect.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's just going to continue to be really angry.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. No, I think that's it.
Sweet. All right, guys. I hope you enjoy that. I don't know if I can turn this off for my earpiece, but we'll try it. Nope. Okay.
Probably just the sound.